this is your first time joining us, welcome. We hope your experience is fruitful. Please feel free to visit our website to find out how you can join our growing family. While we are loading your experience, please do us a quick favor and hit that like button from whichever platform you're watching or listening on. Also, share so others may enjoy as well. And we hope you would consider hitting that subscribe or follow button so you can check out more of our amazing content. Alright, let's start the show. That beat is just, I really like that beat.
It is good.
It is. What's going on, Mavericks? We're back with another episode of The Unusual Mavericks. I am your host and moderator, Kwame Speaks, joined by the handsome, the melanin deficient, and the bearded one, Just Dominic.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. I'm happy to be back.
Indeed.
We have quite an episode in store for you today. I told Kwame earlier, this is one of the episodes I've been most excited about. The last one being Dwayne McDuffie.
Yes.
So this is the second one that I'm super duper excited about.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Indeed. Praise him. Praise God. We appreciate it. All right, let's go ahead and get into some things here. First up, let's get into the Maverick alert, shall we?
Yes.
All right. All right, it's time for the Maverick alert. We have a lot to get into. Let me go ahead and pull up my notes here. The first thing that is up is, and we're back with the Marvels. The Marvels box office slide continues following low Thanksgiving return. Are we surprised? I don't think so. What's going on, Dr. Hope? What's going on? Greetings to you, sir. Thank you for joining in. So only 3 weeks after its release, the Marvels continues its slide at the box office as the MCU suffers a massive blow and gains little traction during the long Thanksgiving weekend. The Marvels grossed $6.4 million domestically during its third week in theaters and $9.2 million worldwide. Worldwide during the holiday. As it stands, the Marvels looks to be the second biggest box office flop from the MCU ever, after Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania became the first post-pandemic Marvel title to lose money, causing the recasting of Jonathan Majors as Kang the Conqueror. Villani Under Fire offered a straightforward response to the Marvel's disappointing 3-week ticket sales returns, recently stating in an interview with Yahoo that questions about the sequel's box office failure should go to Bob Iger.
Like a sister. She's a sister, right. Okay.
They ain't got nothing to do with me. Go ask him. So, the Captain Marvel follow-up is the shortest movie in MCU history, boasting a crisp runtime of 1 hour and 45 minutes. The film closes out Marvel's Phase 5 film slate with only one MCU movie scheduled for 2024. Marvel Studios is revamping all of its projects in a last attempt to stop the bleeding, now applying pressure to the Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman-led Deadpool 3.
I believe it.
Whew.
Because they're more than halfway finished shooting Deadpool 3, so I'm sure all the studio heads, can you imagine, are probably on set worrying everybody about everything, because this is major. This movie lost them so much money, along with Secret Invasions as well, that they talk about, and She-Hulk, were one of the 3 biggest losses in Marvel's history. It's like now the app, all of the new shows have been revamped. They're pushing everything back 2 years. They're talking about only bringing back specific stuff like Jessica Jones. And they're even talking about bringing back The Runaways. believe it or not. Recasting them.
Why?
Or bringing them back. Because overall, for Marvel, they did well. The series did well in ratings.
Interesting. The other show, what was it? It wasn't it wasn't the Runaways. It was the other show that was on in
Cloak
the
and
same.
Dagger.
Not Cloak and Dagger. The other one. It wasn't Inhumans. It was the other one with the daughter of Magneto, Polaris.
Okay.
Well, they were like kind of like another X-Men team or mutant team or whatever, and that one did really, really well. They were on the same time or running the same time as the Runaways, and I felt like that had a better storyline and was more popular than the Runaways. I have to look it up, but yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I watched the Runaways. I did not think it was the best series. Absolutely not. Not out of the Marvel series. The Punisher,
the Gifted. That's
the Gifted. Oh yeah, I saw that.
And Legion was a really good show. I really enjoyed Legion. I don't know why they're not bringing that back.
I enjoyed the Punisher the most.
That was on Netflix.
Correct, but it's still a Marvel show, and they're still.
I was talking about the Hulu shows. I was talking about the Hulu.
They're still talking about bringing that one back as well.
That was good though. Punisher was
so
good.
It could be on Hulu or Disney Plus in the future.
And Punisher wouldn't take them. Wouldn't be a big because there's not a lot of special effects with him. He doesn't have any powers.
And as it stands right now, I guess Daredevil, the movie, everything they shot, they were 3/4 of the way finished. They scrapped everything. So they're adding in Jessica Jones, allegedly, to this new script and the Punisher because they should all be a part of the same galaxy. So they are really Marvel is going through it. This is really bad for them.
Not a good look. This is not good.
Disney is too, though.
Well, Disney overall is not doing good. But you know who I blame
for this movie? Yeah, I think a lot of fans got turned off with the diva attitude. They say you could really feel it on screen between the actresses. There was no real connection between them. It was very awkward. So yeah, and mainly they shot a lot of the movie apart from each other because it was so toxic. So
and they're still running what do you call it? They're still running media tours without her. So like
they're still going full steam ahead. Yeah, and the movie is still in theaters today as we speak. I don't know why they don't pull it and put it on Disney Plus. See if it'll make back some money. So every day they keep it in the theaters, they're losing more money. Yeah.
Well, good luck, chap. Moving on. Blue Beetle and some good news. Blue Beetle.
Oh, wait. You forgot the last part of the Marvels.
We're going back.
Just a little bit because this is very interesting.
Yeah, the Marvels is now showing in theaters across North America. Monday, Villani and her castmates received support from legendary author Stephen King. Oh, that's interesting. Who bashed MCU fans for not supporting the Marvels. Regardless, the Marvels frustrated the fan base due to the illogical storyline, the swapping of Carol, Monica, and Kamala continuing throughout the film, weakened excitement, unintentionally boring fans, dismissing comments from legendary writer Stephen King's suggesting he stay in his.
Marvel fans are a mess. They told Stephen King, the legendary writer. Stephen King is a brand. Marvel fans says, stay in your lane. Is this about it? Are we talking to you, Stephen King?
But nobody was talking to him, so like, goodbye, girl.
Hilarious. Hilarious.
But I mean, like, who paid you to talk about it? Like, you came out of nowhere from left field. You went from horror movies all the way to superhero movies just to bring in your opinion. Nobody cares, girl.
Like, are you working on It 3? That's what you need to be
that's what you need to be focusing on. Worry about your clowns, girl. Anywho.
Hilarious.
That is hilarious. Moving on, going into Blue Beetle. Blue Beetle actually did really, 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 really well. Despite the box office quote unquote flop. Hold on, Dr. Holt says, sidebar, my nephew saw Black Panther for the first time during our uncle nephew weekend, and he loved it, by the way, didn't take his eyes off the screen. And as he should.
How could you?
I mean, Black Panther, first of all, it's a beautiful
imagine done. Being a kid again and seeing that movie. I couldn't imagine.
Oh, I think if I saw Black Panther when I was younger, it would probably change the way I viewed the world a little bit.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So kudos to you for being a great uncle and showing your nephew Black Panther. Also,
That's right.
well, I don't know if he's ready for Black Panther 2. He might, it might be too sad for him.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he knows the story about Chadwick Boseman, but yeah. But yeah, all of the Black Panther, anything that Black Panther is in, definitely a great opportunity for him to watch. Yes. All right, Blue Beetle. Blue Beetle finally scores a win after bombing at the box office. The Blue Beetle movie scored a win after flopping at the box office, leaving the theater with a negative $100 million price tag. Blue Beetle grossed $72.5 million in the United States and Canada and $56.8 million in other territories for a worldwide total of $129.3 million. However, DC Studios made the decision to pull it from the movies and add it to their streaming platform, hoping to recoup some of their loss. Surprisingly, the film accumulated more views than DC Studios hoped for, finally giving DC Films and Warner Brothers some news to celebrate. Blue Beetle, a DC movie that was made originally for the streaming app Max, HBO Max, has come home with a bang. Blue Beetle is the number one streamed movie for the month of November, premiering in the Max streaming service, becoming a mega hit for the streaming platform among U.S. consumers, amassing between $120 to $130 million for DC Studios, surpassing its theater run numbers. The film's box office failure was initially attributed to factors such as comic book fatigue and the lesser known status of the Blue Beetle character and lead actor Zolo Medina. Forgive me if I'm mispronouncing his name. While a sequel is not confirmed, DC Studios is paying close attention. The streaming success of Blue Beetle opens up the possibility of future projects, potentially as streaming-only series, giving lesser-known heroes a chance to connect with audiences. On its way to the top of the charts, Blue Beetle knocked Netflix's mega hit The Killer out of the first place. Peacock's Five Nights at Freddy's fell to third, and DC fans showed up in the full force, making it clear to DC Studios Blue Beetle is a sleeper hit. Also, Blue Beetle nearly knocked out Sony's Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse out of its number one spot for streaming. Although the Spider-Man sequel is currently hanging on tight at number 9, as Marvel struggles, it looks like DC is slowly pulling away during the current market. Now, Blue Beetle is heading to Netflix, which could make it the most watched movie on any streaming service, according to Yahoo News. So
you know why this is extremely important to know because this is all Hispanic.
Yep.
Director, right? Mm-hmm. Majority of the cast, the writer, everybody. Hispanics did not show up in full force to the theaters as people thought, but they are killing it. You hear? The numbers are crazy for this movie. Yeah. It is a true sleeper hit. This is the definition of a sleeper hit.
Yeah.
The movie is fantastic.
It is. It's a fantastic movie.
And it's still number one on Max, too.
Yeah. I went to go see it in the theaters, and it was really, really good. I enjoyed it. But I would say this. I was actually a little shocked when we found out that Blue Beetle was considered a flop, because I just thought it was it was probably one of DC's best movies.
In the past couple of years, for sure.
Yeah, to include Aquaman and the Aquaman 1 and Shazam
and the Joker.
And the Joker. And even Batman. Batman did really, really well. But I'm not really talking about the Elseworld movies or the stuff that's out of canon. Because I think that the new Batman movie that they did was really, really done really, really well. Yes. But my point is that I've talked about it before. We're battling a major, all movies are battling the economy, right? And so movie theaters are battling the economy. It's expensive to go to the movie theater. I would rather save my money and go to an amusement park than go to the movie theater because you're basically going to pay the same amount, if you're going by yourself.
And a lot of people don't realize. I don't think these executives, these that are trying to force us back into the theaters, realize that us everyday people during COVID, we upgraded our house. We upgraded our entertainment systems. Most of us got every app we could think of. And we're spending all that money or spent all of that money in our investments for our comfort at home. I personally...
That's a great point, Dominic.
Yeah, and so all these numbers, when they call it a flop, they're talking about their post 2019 numbers, box office numbers. The market has changed, people.
It has.
You are not going to force us to go back to the theaters. Everybody I know, even when it came to this movie, a lot of people say, "Oh yeah, I may go to the theaters, but I'll definitely check it out when it comes to the app."
Yeah,
and they are. To hear that Spider-Man, what is it in the Spider-Verse, was one of the most across the Spider-Verse was one of the most streamed movies over the past. I think it was pre-pandemic or during the pandemic. To hear that this movie has almost knocked it out of its top position is a really big deal. And it should tell every studio head, okay, we need to do exactly what Warner Brothers did here. We had it in the theater for about 4 weeks, and immediately they pulled it and put it on the app. Get that money.
So just to clarify, you're talking about Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which came out in 2018. And Spider-Man Across the Universe, or the Spider-Verse, was the most recent one that just came out, and it's still maintaining its top spot. But to your point, like
in 9th place,
correct.
But that was pre-pandemic, is what you're saying? The other one, 2019,
2018 is when Into the Spider-Verse came out.
Wow.
Yeah. So Across the Spider-Verse is just a recent one that just came out in the past year.
Into the Spider-Verse is the first one. Okay.
Correct.
That one. Okay. So they're saying that Blue Beetle almost knocked the first movie, the one released in 2018, out of first place.
No.
Yes, that's what this article is saying.
No, because it's saying nearly knocked off Sony's Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, which is the one that came out this year. You're thinking of Into the Spider-Verse. I know it's like that. Those are two totally different movies.
Okay.
So yeah, but anyway, my point is, and I think your point is, and one of a great point that you made during what you were saying about during the pandemic. Yes, people upgraded their stuff. People upgraded I know I did. I upgraded my entertainment system. I added on more apps to watch. Even with the consolidation of Warner Brothers, there's a lot of apps. There's a lot of changes that you have to make or whatever. People don't want to spend money on 4,000 apps. When they could have just kept their cable. You know what I'm saying? That the whole purpose of them leaving cable, there's a lot of people that left cable providers, and are just increased their internet services because they have to look at funds. They have to look at money and all that stuff, whatever. So spending $150 a pop to watch a movie at a theater is just not necessary anymore. It's not something that you have to do. We can wait. Right. And so people are looking at that and they're saying, okay, we can wait for these movies to come out. And the fact that it came out, that they released it, or Warner Brothers and DC released it from the movies and put it into streaming was a brilliant idea. And I think that they should do that. Marvel really needs to think about doing that for you may reinvigorate the app. But you know what it is? I don't think that they're confident in Disney Plus. That's what it is, in my opinion, because it's not.
Well, they're losing a lot of folks. Still, they're losing a lot of folks.
They're bleeding bad.
But just to be clear about this, because this gets confusing, because this article looks also weird. Now, the first one was talking about Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, the 2018 film, that is still holding a record-holding position. This article is saying that Blue Beetle almost broke that record. That says a lot.
Okay, I'm looking at the notes and I'm seeing Across the Spider-Verse. So unless there's a typo, that's the only thing I've seen. I haven't seen Into the Spider-Verse in this article in the notes here.
Yeah, because
We can talk about it later.
No, it's talking about that, and then it says it's sequel. So yeah, that's a typo.
Okay, so the point is, it's at the end of the day, what I think what people need to look at is the fact that people are focusing on staying home, and unless the only other thing that they have to do, which is not going to be something that can be done, is in terms of the movie theaters lessening their products, like paying for so much in popcorn or their ticket sales and stuff. They can't do that because they have to pay their staff, they have to pay for the building, it's brick and mortar, like it's a lot that they have to think about. So
isn't that funny? Yet again, brick and mortar is in danger.
Yeah. Hey Keats, what's going on?
Hey Keats.
Yeah, so
brick and mortar is in danger again.
Yeah. But it's not a shock, because what the pandemic did was something that is going to send shockwaves for the next couple of years. People thought that it was like, oh well, after everything comes back in 2021, that we were going to be all good to go. No, there's still residue from that. That was a major hit.
I mean, people are still getting COVID, right?
Yes, but it's not even just about COVID. It's just about how we navigated life. Like even working from home, that is a prerequisite for some people now. They're like, I don't want to go back into an office. I want to work from home. And if I can't work from home, I'm going to find a job that will. You know what I'm saying? Because it's easier to work from home. You're able to do more things. You have a better quality of life. You know what I'm saying? When you have, those type of things, because you're going back and forth, you're spending hours and hours and hours in traffic. You're spending hours and hours and hours in an office. It's a lot. It's a lot. So there's a lot of stuff that has been changing. And I'm not saying that we should not, be antisocial. What I'm saying is that, people, I'm not going to pay to go somewhere just to watch a movie when I can watch it at home, when I'm already paying for apps. Because this is what happens. You go and pay for a movie, right? Yeah. Then when you want to see the movie, if you've enjoyed it, they put it on pay-per-view. You have to then pay for that.
Right.
But I just paid for it. I have to pay for it again at home when you can just put it on a streaming app and I can watch it. That I'm already on something I'm already paying for. So there's a lot more that goes into all of this, and I think that these execs need to really think about that, and I think DC's catching on.
But this is really a cool thing that 2 minority movies, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and now Blue Beetle, are some of the top streaming movies of all time. Well, I shouldn't say that. Within this time period.
But Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, the one that just came out this year, it's still in the top, and it's keeping Disney Plus afloat. But they never acknowledge any of the Miles Morales Spider-Man. They always talk about the other.
They barely acknowledged the first one, and it has broken records. Into the Spider-Verse broke.
But this is what Marvel did with Black Panther. They didn't acknowledge Black Panther and how
they better figure out
that got the Oscar.
They better figure out what they're gonna do with this Hispanic movie, because Hispanic folks went in to watch this movie.
Well, this is DC.
Still though, it's a product that got a minority group really interested, and it almost broke a record.
Yeah.
It's still number 1 right now, but I'm talking about a record.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
How
mighty the minority dollar is.
Yeah.
That's the point I was looking at. Like, oh, wow.
Right. Well, that was blurred news. We're going to, that was breaking news. We're going to go into, blurred news right now. Let's go ahead and get into some blurred news, because we have some things that we want to bring up. And the first thing that we want to talk about is what's in the Marvel and DC world. Let's get into Marvel Studios. First up, What If Season 2 will premiere on Disney Plus on December 22nd, 2023. There will be a total of 9 episodes, and unlike Season 1, where episodes were released weekly, Season 2 will instead be released daily over the holiday season and will run from December 22nd every day until December 30th, 2023. Marvel Studios and Disney Plus, need a big win for 2023. Though Loki did great, its overall viewership fell by 39%. Many believe this is due to declining. That is huge. Many believe this is due to declining these Disney Plus subscribers. Disney is hoping MCU fans will now reactivate their subscriptions for the app. Disney's bleak box office streak continues. Wish is the latest crack in the studio's once invincible armor, bringing in less than 32 million worldwide. My God.
Isn't this a minority movie? Isn't she a princess? Oh God.
Yep. Disney's only unmitigated success in 2023 has been Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which opened in May and generated a healthy 845 plus million globally and on Disney Plus, according to Forbes.com. That is insane.
Can you believe
32 million for Wish? That was a highly anticipated show.
And it costs a whole lot to make.
But again, we're going back to why people are nobody wants to pay to go to movies. We're talking about a bunch of, now, if you're going to go, and I saw on TikTok a couple of weeks ago that parents have been getting together to pay like bundles to pay for to rent an entire theater, because it's like $100, maybe $150 for a theater, and then have a bunch of kids come through. And so that's cheaper than for them to go individually as a family. That's crazy. But do you know how many families you have to get to really make that a success? Like to make that really a hit? Exactly. And that's another thing. Like that's not something that's popular anymore. It used to be super popular where you would go and, your parents would, rent out the theater and you would be like the coolest kid on the block or whatever. But like nobody's doing that anymore because it's not economical. And Disney, girl, what is your problem?
Disney Plus, I know they've made a lot over. I think they went over the 34 movies that they made and realized that they made billions of dollars, like a whole lot. But they're bleeding so much from these past 2 years. We know it's not going to sink the ship.
No,
but now they may be a smaller boat.
They won't sink the. It's not going to sink the ship overall as Disney because they can always pour money from the parks because as long as they have parks, they can. I mean,
I don't know how well the parks have been doing though.
Well, I mean, the parks are never going to do horrible. They may dip in season, but the parks are always going to be their riding force. That's their bread and butter. But
they also have to pay for Hulu. They are the primary stockholders in Hulu, and allegedly they have like a $60 million a month payment or something crazy to Hulu. Yeah, it's like, what?
Because I think Hulu. But the thing about Hulu is that Hulu is at least producing content that people want to watch. It's
doing better than Disney Plus. Yeah,
absolutely, it's doing better than Disney Plus because what's keeping Hulu is that Hulu has that live thing where you can just kind of if you don't want to get cable or whatever, you can get like and ESPN and all that stuff, whatever. Yeah. So they're all under that, so they'll be fine. But I don't know about Disney Plus. I'm really worried about Disney Plus.
Who knows what's gonna happen with Disney Plus?
Yeah,
this. But there's so much that's coming out in all of Disney's other, like Star Wars. They've got so much but you know what? They may end up releasing it on Hulu. So who knows?
Yeah. All right. Well, next up on Blur News,
this isn't good news.
Poor baby. Jonathan Majors is facing charges of assault and harassment and could spend up to a year in jail if convicted. Deadline reports Majors filed a cross complaint against Jabari. What's her first name? Demon? Becky? It really doesn't matter. But Jabari, alleging he was the one assaulted. When with sound evidence, NYPD arrested the blonde, but the Manhattan District Attorney's Office refused to pursue a case. The former Marvel actor went on trial Wednesday in New York on assault charges against the blonde woman. Potential prejudicial, and inflammatory material um, Judge closed Jonathan Majors' domestic violence trial to public on day one. So they closed the access or the trial to the public on day one. The judge in the Jonathan Majors, was very smart. The judge in the Jonathan Majors domestic violence trial in New York plans to clear the public courtroom of spectators Wednesday afternoon. Judge Michael Gaffey will allow Majors lawyers to argue behind closed doors for keeping a piece of evidence that is currently under seal out of the case permanently. His future is now in the hands of the court system.
So we heard today that they are choosing jurors and they're going back.
That they have already chosen.
They have already chosen.
They already chosen jurors, yeah.
And so this thing is going to move quickly. I don't know what this
on
means
Monday
for him. Yeah, they're going to start back, reconvene on Monday. So the trial actually starts on Monday. This is... I don't know what to think. What evidence? What are they talking about this evidence? What does that even mean?
And I don't even know if it's from
a piece of evidence that was. Yeah, what does that mean? Right.
Yeah, if it's from the defense or if it's from prosecution. What I find very interesting, and this is something that
it sounds damning. Whatever it is, if it's against him or for him, it could really,
right. But this is what I found. What I found very interesting. And this is something that we talked about on Pyro Power. Shout out to Pyro Power and Kyrie. Something that we talked about when this first started happening. One of the things that we kept mentioning was that this is something. So he did something. Something happened to where he pissed off an exec. He pissed off a PR. He pissed off somebody that was really, really powerful within the entertainment stratosphere. Because there's no way that this could be this much against this man. Because there's been plenty of other people that have been in similar situations and or worse situations, and they didn't get this much. The girl and it wasn't like he Ike-turned her. You know what I'm saying? It would be different if he Ike-turned her. No, it would be different if he ran her over
up the car and put her in a cab.
But that's not even the like. She went to his home and caused an entire scene,
right?
With people and caused an entire scene, and was like, and made this big hoopla and lied and said that he hurt her, and it was just like it's like. What is, and then the media went crazy with him. The media went crazy.
All the stories about him being very arrogant and abusive all this on set and all of that, right?
And none of that was relevant because I don't care if he was arrogant or whatever. The point was that he did not hurt that girl.
Not if she was at a club right after that partying with her broken finger that wasn't broken, and she's going
and it wasn't broken. And she even admitted that she
admitted.
And the taxi cab driver said no, it was her that was the crazy one, and he didn't touch her.
He touched her. He picked her up and put her in a cab.
In the sense of like attacking her, like hitting her.
Well, look, I agree. But I don't know what New York State considers assault. Allegedly, it sounds like they are considering if you touch someone in any kind of way, then that's assault.
It's considered assault. It is. That's a big deal in New York, unfortunately.
Wow. So that's I feel so sorry for him. I'm honestly praying for him. I've been thinking about him quite a bit because this is just terrible for him. Look at his face right there. Yeah. He is stressed beyond stressed.
He lost everything.
Disney terminated him. Kevin Feige likes this guy, okay? And said, we're going to stand behind you, until the end. Disney said, no, you're terminated.
And honestly, I love him as Kang. I love how he's a great actor. He really is.
Yeah, I really enjoyed him in Loki and Ant-Man and the Wasp. He was the best part.
Yeah, and the first time that I saw him was in Lovecraft Country. He was phenomenal in that. He is even better in that. That was like what launched his career.
Even better.
That's what launched his career. And that show is still.
If you guys haven't saw that, check it out.
Please check out.
I may rewatch it just in his honor. I don't know.
I will.
I don't know what this evidence is. That's the only thing that has me worried for him. It could be his salvation, but it's close to the public. We don't know. Yeah. I'm just a little worried about him.
Yeah.
For him. And I hope he didn't do it.
I don't think there's anything for him to do. You know what I'm saying? So like I think
whatever this evidence is, they act like it's connected to some other part of the relationship.
I think this is just technicalities and
white girls alone. Amen.
Exactly. And just really racism at its best. So that's how I feel about it. But what my thing is, where's Ben Crump? Where's all of these other people that sit there and go like Black Lives Matter, whatever, when this man is literally, you can tell, you can see what is going on with him.
Well, you know, one of the things that makes me uncomfortable about this, the DA's office is black in New York. These are the same people that are persecuting Trump.
Okay, Candace Owens is black too. That doesn't mean shit. All skin folk ain't kinfolk.
I understand, but when the racism thing all kind of goes out the window if there are black people persecuting or prosecuting a black man for a crime.
That doesn't go out the window. It doesn't mean that they are the ones that are the puppeteers. They could be there's people behind them. There's always a boss to a boss. Everybody has a boss.
Okay, well, I'm just saying it right now we can't even declare that it's racism. Just based upon optics.
Because the system is racist in and of itself. So
amen to that.
There's that. But we got to move on because we're running out of time. But let's go ahead and we wish them the absolute best. I'm going to keep them in prayer. We're going to keep you guys updated the best we can on this particular situation. But last but not least, for the blurred news, we have Aquaman 2, which is being said to be set up to flop at the box office. But will it perform better on Max? After failing to defeat Aquaman the first time, Black Manta wields the power of the mythic Black Triton to unleash an ancient and malevolent force. Hoping to end his reign of terror, Aquaman forges an unlikely alliance with his brother Orm, the former king of Atlantis. This re-edited film focuses less on Arthur's relationship with Mera and more on the brothers. Setting aside their differences, they join forces to protect their kingdom and save the world from irreversible destruction. The latest trailer has been well received, on par with Black Adam, according to ScreenRant.com. The release date is December 22nd, 2023. A whopping budget of $205 million $205 million plus marketing was put in there, according to the Box Office Pro. The two-week domestic total for Aquaman 2 is in the 105 to 170 million range, similar to Black Adam. Aquaman 1 brought in over 300 million its first 2 weeks. However, Aquaman 2 needs a whopping 410 million worldwide to break even. The only silver lining for the film is the sequel has no competition in December, reports Variety magazine.
Yeah, the only thing that's coming out, obviously, that we see from Marvel on the same day is What If Season 2. And we know they're hoping, of course, people watch that when they get back from the theater. Put it on pause, girl. Go to the theater and watch Aquaman 2.
Yeah, but that's really interesting. I can be watching anytime.
Yeah, and it's nice to, $205 million plus marketing for Aquaman 2. They already said that they decreased the budget. They weren't going to do a bunch of commercials on cable, which is smart, and only really release ads on social media for this movie. The great thing about the trailer, if you have not seen the trailer, it feels more like a superhero film than I think where they were going to go with it. Mm-hmm. I don't want to see a love story between him and what's her name?
Yeah, I don't care about Mera.
Most of us didn't like her anyway.
No.
And in the comic books and the cartoons, Mera is not a main character. You see her on occasions. So I'm very happy to hear that the movie is going to be set up in the same way. It's interesting to know that they considered Black Adam a flop because it only made 105 or 100 and what did it do? It kissed 100. I think it was like 170 million dollars, or it was close to 200 million dollars, and they considered that a flop. That's crazy. I don't
exactly. Well, I have a theory on that, but that's here nor there.
So yeah, I'm hoping that they're going to do the same thing that they did with Blue Beetle. If it does not, if they consider it a flop at $170 million, next week, put it right on Max, and you'll make your coin back.
There you go. There you go. Whew. All right, y'all. Well, that was Blurred News. We're going to go ahead and take a quick commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to get into our Maverick time and get to talk about today's Maverick, who is Phil LaMarr. Dominic is going to get into it with us today. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back after this commercial break.
In a world filled with diversity, where radical faith and progressive believers come together, there's a place that's breaking all boundary and embracing believers from all walks of life. Bullet and Flight Radio, where believers unite, boundaries break, and love triumphs.
Step away from the chaos and noise of your daily life. Experience moments for yourself that are calm, serene, and full of peace. A necessary respite to foster growth within you, because self-care should be luxurious. Luxe Noir.
And we're back by popular demand. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you're just tuning in, do me a quick favor, hit that like button, share, and subscribe. It does help the algorithm. We appreciate you so much for all that you do. And if you want to become a Maverick, you can go ahead and follow us on our social medias as well. You can follow me everywhere at Kwame Speaks Official, and you can follow Just Dominic at just_Dominic_music on IG. Shout out to Just Dominic. All right. Let's get into some Maverick time, shall we, Dominic? We got some people to talk about. All right, Maverick time. Bring it on up. Bring it on up. All right. So, as you guys know, Maverick time and Maverick talk is something that we have kind of started. Dominic has kind of started, where we bring in and have some conversation around some really influential and really dope people. And first up, who we talk to, just to kind of give you guys a heads up, you can go ahead and check out all of these shows on our playlist on Pyro Media Network, on Pyro Media's on our YouTube playlist on Pyro Media's YouTube channel, or you can go watch it on Twitch as well. But we talked about Helene Flowers. Phenomenal dude. Definitely check him out. Afua Richardson. Definitely want to check her out. Matt Baker. Hey, Matt. How you doing, sir?
Hey, girl.
The late, great Matt Baker. Also, Dr. Sheena Howard. Shout out to that queen. Also, Aletha Martinez. Okay. Shout out to her. And the one and only Dwayne McDuffie, one of Dominic and I's favorite influential comic book influencers out there. Really a pivotal person that brought in Black and people of color into comics and really paved the way for a lot of what we see today on DC and Marvel. So shout out to him. Also Sanford Green, check him out. Natasha Bustos, check her out. She had some really dope stuff going on. Laiso McKeezy, listen, I still want to order some of his stuff, so definitely check him out. Go to our you can rewatch the episode and learn more about him. Robin Smith, definitely check her out as well. Jamal Campbell, he was dope. I loved learning about him.
The creator of Naomi.
Correct. Nyla Magruder. Check her out. She did some awesome things. And not last week, but the week before last, our last episode, we talked about Anthony Piper. So shout out, hey Anthony, how you doing?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Anyway, we talked about Anthony. Great people. But today we're going to be talking about and asking the question of who is Phil LaMarr. Phil LaMarr. Take it away, Dominic.
Phil LaMarr. This is my man right here. Phil LaMarr. If you don't think you know him, you actually do. LaMarr started in improv, believe it or not, and he was one of the original castmates of Mad TV. I know we all watched Mad TV. So it's nice. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot he was on Mad TV. But voice acting will absolutely be his legacy. LaMarr has voiced characters in many of the classic animated shows that we have loved down through the last 30 years. 3 decades this man has been doing it. Some of the most legendary leads that he has voiced is, as you see, Jon Stewart, Green Lantern, one of the most popular Green Lanterns of all time.
And the best one.
Due to the acting work that he did. Let's be real. The comic books, yes. But to see him in the animated version in Justice League and Justice League Unlimited was absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
One of the other legendary characters that he voiced is Samurai Jack.
Yes.
I started watching Samurai Jack 2 years ago because I heard that he was the voice, and I didn't know that.
I didn't know he was the voice of Samurai Jack himself. Was he?
Uh-huh.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. That's dope.
That's correct. And he also was the voice of Static Shock, the classic cartoon.
Yes.
Back in the day, he was indeed Static Shock himself.
That's dope.
Phil LaMarr is just still doing his thing. 30 years later, he is now on Lower Decks. If you have not seen this animated series, it's pretty awesome. Dawn Lewis is my girl. We all know her from A Different World, and I'm Gonna Get You Sucker. And it's just so nice to see those two come together in this animated universe. And the way they support each other is absolutely brilliant and beautiful behind the scenes. He has voiced work on Futurama. He has voiced Gorilla Grodd. He's worked on Super Friends. That's right. He's worked on Super Friends. He has voiced Aquaman in Young Justice.
My God.
And King Lauren. Correct. He has done a lot of work. He has been the voice of Cyborg. And in his Marvel universe, because yes, he is heavy in the DC universe, one of the people who got him a job, the person who got him the voice acting job in the first darn place, guess who it was?
Who?
Dwayne McDuffie.
See?
Dwayne started his career. Correct. There you go. So, isn't that just crazy to me? But LaMarr went on, like I say, to do Samurai Jack. He went on to do Static Shock. Dwayne cast him as Green Lantern, Jon Stewart. And he's been just doing it since then. So where was I? Oh, so he voiced in his Marvel work. He has voiced the voice of Gambit. What is it?
Wait, Gambit on the X-Men? On the X-Men 90 series?
No, after in some of the rebooted stuff.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah, after that, he's voiced Gambit, and in the video games as well. He's voiced Hemdale.
Okay.
Isn't that the one with the eyes that Idris Elba? Okay, so he voiced him.
He voiced
Green Goblin.
Okay.
Luke Cage. He's voiced Tishan within the Black Panther. There was a series, an animated series that Jill Scott was in, and Jaemon Hansu. So is this gentleman right here. I believe he voiced his father. I think that's it. No, that's not his father's name, but he voiced one of the characters within Wakanda and had a major role within that, which was really cool as well. Luke Cage. Did I say that already?
Yes.
And he also did the voice of Afro Samurai.
Oh, okay.
Afro Samurai as well. And here it says that within the video game, he voiced he did the voice work of Black Panther himself. So this man,
I just learned something
Right? Yeah. Your mind automatically goes back to like 1995 when he was on there when it first started off. So he was in Pulp Fiction. He's done a lot of other stuff besides voice work. He's done a lot of acting work as well. As I said, he was in Pulp Fiction. He was on Mad TV. He's been in lots of movies over the course of his 3-decade career. Yes, he did the voice of Spider-Man. Everything that you see up here in the background of Samurai Jack, Jon Stewart, Spider-Man, T'Challa, he voiced all of these actual characters. So I believe he did the voice in the animated Avengers show. It's one of the ones on Disney Plus right now. And you and I were watching that the other day, watching one of the episodes on it, and I had no idea that was his voice all this time. So this guy is just super talented. So Phil has graduated from Harvard, Westlake School. He also went and graduated from Yale University and the Underlings Theater, all prestigious schools, super prestigious. So not only does he have his degrees, he knows what he's doing.
Yes.
The guy just knows what he's doing.
The man's educated.
He's super educated. He's won a few awards as well and been nominated for a few stuff. He's won the NIV GTR Award for Best Supporting Actor in the series Middle Earth, The Shadow of Mordor in 2014. Hey.
So Dr. Holt acts, so he's the weatherman on Family Guy.
Correct. He is. He does so much. It's just insane. So he also attended Harvard High School in North Hollywood. He is a California or LA native. He was best known back then for playing the role of Humphrey Bogart, believe it or not. And I love when black people play white characters and they make it so believable where you just don't even see anymore. It's just so we've already discussed that he's played with Dawn Lewis, the husband of Dawn Lewis in Futurama, and played her husband again in the new Star Trek Lower Decks that was launched in 2020. So he's also been nominated for a grand jury award for Best Supporting Actor in This Great Place back in 2018. And also in 2018, he won the BTVA Television Voice Actors Award. So 2018 was a really good year for him. It looks like for the series Samurai Jack. He won for Samurai Jack. That is so cool.
That's dope.
That series. Did you watch Samurai Jack?
I did.
I only watched bits and pieces of it, but now I'm really starting to watch that and Afro Samurai because of him. I didn't know he was in all of this stuff.
I had schedule conflicts with Samurai Jack because another show, Dragon Ball Z, came on. So I would always watch Dragon Ball Z, but I'll definitely get back into it because I mean Samurai Jack is on. It's on Max right now, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hilarious. Every time they ask the weatherman what's the weather, he might say it's hot. Hilarious to me. Dr. Holt said that. It's hot.
Too much. And in 2017, he was the winner again of the BTVA Television Voice Acting Award for Best Vocal Ensemble Performance in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle series.
Right on. All right now.
So right now, this year, he has been nominated for the first time for an Ambie Award. Can you believe that? 30 years in the game, he just got nominated for an Ambie.
Are you surprised? Look at a lot of the people that we talked about.
Covering.
Yeah, who we've been covering and how they've just recently got awards or they've never gotten one when they should have, or they've gotten it, emeritus, when they passed on. So it's like it's crap. Like it's that type of type of world industry and what's going on.
The Ambie Awards already happened, unfortunately, I believe in September. So he didn't win the award, but he was.
Being nominated for one is still dope too.
Performer. He should have been nominated a long time ago. This is ridiculous.
Well, that's here nor there. We know that.
But, and the last thing is that he is still a confirmed bachelor.
So
ladies or gentlemen, you know, hit him up. I would like to meet him myself, just to talk about his vast knowledge of the industry and his career.
You want to meet
I'll
him?
go out to dinner. I'll go out to dinner. I have no problems with that.
Okay. All right, now you go and get
I sure will.
You gonna do it for journalistic purposes for the usual Mavericks?
Whatever. He is a confirmed bachelor. That's all I know. So might as well. I can get him on the show. Absolutely.
All right. All right. Thanks to Just Dominic for covering that. Thank you so much. And shout out to Phil for all that he has done. Phil LaMarr it's been a huge pivotal role in voice acting. I think people underestimate voice acting.
He was on Supergirl too. He played one of the Martian Manhunter's brother. He did a fantastic job.
He did.
In that
he
as
did.
well.
He did. Oh yeah, I remember him. Yeah.
I only watched it because Phil LaMarr was in it. So yeah.
Well, I was a fan of the Supergirl show anyway. After a while, I was just like, okay, this is getting.
It was really good, and then it got really bad.
Yeah, bad. Like it went down quick. Like that was a shift I wasn't expecting, but it is what it is. But all right, you guys, we want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. We appreciate you guys for rocking with us. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and text Blaze, BLAZE, to 833-793-2423 so you can get notifications when we go live or upload. And if you haven't done so already, hit that like button, share, and subscribe. And if you're watching on the replay, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe if you want to become a Maverick and or a Pyromaniac. We appreciate everyone and welcome all.
Yes.
All right.
So this is where, of course, wrapping up our celebration of 100 years of people of color in comic books, graphic novels, and all of that good stuff and all that jazz. There are a few links if you want to know more about Phil LaMarr.
Yep.
Can you put them in the comments?
I can.
For everyone.
I can. Give me 1 second.
Guys, there's so much work he did. I really tried to quickly go through everything and make it as interesting as possible. But he has done a lot of really good work, stuff that I was surprised that he was in. He's done a lot of indie movies too that are seem really cool. I saw some trailers and I thought, oh, he's not even joking around in that. He's tapping into his drama. So. Yes.
All right, so I just put you can go to phillamar.com, but I just put the link in there directly, and I also put his IMDb in there as well, to definitely check him out. And for those who are watching the replay, again, you can go to phillamar.com, and we're not paid from them. We're not sponsored by phillamar.com. That's why we just want to support our people in the industry. So shout out to everyone, and thank you guys so much for tuning in. We appreciate you guys. It's been a great show. We'll see you guys on the next one next week, and we're rounding down on the end of the year. So get into the holiday spirit, and shout out to we may review some Marvel holiday shows if there's any.
No, there probably won't be. Marvel just announced they're never going to do any specials anymore. It costs too much, and they on a budget now.
It's a good idea. Anywho, all right, guys, we'll see you on the next one. Remember to stay unusual. All right, y'all.
That's right.
Peace.
Take
Bye.
care.